Alrighty, what's going on everybody? Ninja Star here, and today we are back at it again with our Fullmetal Alchemist video. Now, it feels pretty weird saying that. I never really talk about Fullmetal Alchemist on my channel because I hadn't seen it up until recently. Both series, Fullmetal Alchemist 2003 and Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. I know many of you out there are familiar with Brotherhood. I don't know how many of you have seen the original anime, but for the sake of, for the content I'm going to be discussing in this video, it's implied that you should have already seen the original anime. So if you haven't, go watch that stuff and come back to this video. But if you don't care about spoilers, go ahead. I'm also going to be talking about Brotherhood's ending. That's not going to be the main focus. Main focus is going to be 03, but we'll bring a Brotherhood's ending here and there. So if you care about spoilers and you haven't seen Brotherhood, check that out. Watch the original anime first and then go to Brotherhood. That is always my ideal recommendation for someone who hasn't seen Fullmetal Alchemist. So, you all saw the thumbnail, you read the title, we're talking about the original anime's ending. Fullmetal Alchemist, the original anime's ending, is often seen by many as bittersweet. It is not really the way you wanted it to end. It's not so happy-go-lucky, everyone lives happily together after the end, literally. It's kind of almost depressing that it didn't end up the way we all wanted, or the general fandom wanted it, but it also kind of concludes the story. It wraps up the otherwise really well told narrative, and while I don't mind a bittersweet ending from time to time in storytelling, I also think it being too ambiguous can really ruin it, so to speak. And I think many can agree with me that when I finished the original Fullmetal Alchemist anime, I wasn't exactly cheering. I was like, oh, there has to be more. So I went to Crunchyroll from Netflix and I watched Conqueror of Shamballa because that's supposed to be the concluding movie for Fullmetal Alchemist. So by the way, if you haven't, when I said Fullmetal Alchemist, implied you've seen it. I assume that you've seen the original anime and Conqueror of Shamballa because those two kind of go together. Like Conqueror of Shamballa is meant to mainly give a better conclusion that the original anime didn't, because the original anime, the way it ends off, it's meant to go into something else, and many people actually prefer the original anime's ending to Conqueror of Shamballa, but I'll get to that later. Basically, it doesn't end off the way we all wanted, but it's still it works. It's still fairly consistent, and it does go in with one of the show's ending principles. You don't always get what if you work hard enough and you constantly try your best, you may get what you want, but not always in the way you expect. And that was the thing with this. It ended, yeah, Al got his body back and the brothers were reunited, but was it really the way we expected? Were they really in Risenball with Winry and everyone just having a good time, the usual? No, it wasn't how we expected it at all. And I think that's one of the really unique things Fullmetal Alchemist 2003 did. However, it has its holes. The original anime, the way it ended off, is meant to go on to something else, but if you look at it thematically, it's meant to almost give a closure to the brothers' adventure while still opening up doors for the future. The brothers have both gotten their bodies back, they're the main overarching goal of the series. However, they're split up. Their journeys are really over, but now it's just a matter of a post-adventure goal in mind for them to see each other once again. However, I feel that maybe the Conqueror of Shamballa movie going in a similar fashion to this thematically would have been a better choice. Maybe not so much the finding each other goal part, but them being separated. The reason I bring this up is that if you remember in the Conqueror of Shamballa movie, when Ed's about to leave off, we see Alphonse crying and all that, but then in the next scene, we see Alphonse there with Ed because he hopped on last minute because he wanted to be with his brother. I guess that does kind of go back to the whole, hey, you got what you wanted, but it's not what you expect. But that feels so odd and out of place, and it really just played with us. It played with our expectation that literally doesn't make any logical sense how Alphonse was able to hop on there, whatever, I'm not even going to question it. Either way, I just feel that wasn't really the way I wanted. I felt it could have been handled a lot better. It's better than the original anime, because the original anime is way too ambiguous to where it's legit, it pisses you off if you only see that. But I feel one way the movie could have handled it a lot better is if perhaps Ed goes off, but Alphonse does not tag along. It kind of takes note of what the original anime did and ends off in a similar fashion, so it doesn't change too much, but it still provides a better conclusion overall. You know, the brothers are split up, but their journeys are actually over. They don't have an overarching goal in mind anymore, so the series actually feels complete. I felt that would have been a better bittersweet ending, because many people say, you know, the ending of Fullmetal Alchemist, the movie and the series, yeah, it's pretty bittersweet, but I felt the whole idea of the brothers being split up but their journeys are over, that's a better bittersweet ending. And I mean, you could argue Brotherhood did that too, because remember, Ed says he's going to venture out into the west more, Al says he's going to venture out to the east, but it's implied that they're going to join back together and bring what knowledge they had. I felt Ed and Al being separated pretty much forever would have made for a much more powerful, emotional, and risky move that could have worked out in the end, just thematically. As far as how it was handled, I mean, the truth of it is you're not always going to get what you want. I mean, at least the way you expect it. That's the main truth of the series, and that kind of goes with the ending of Conqueror of Shamballa and the ending of the original anime. It's that bittersweet feel where you feel concluded, but you also feel a bit sad, so to speak. It's not the point of a bittersweet ending isn't to be it ends happily ever after or the ideal way that you want, or not the perfect ending that, you know, not really the best outcome for these characters, but it's a matter of what you get, and it works for a conclusion. I think that's the main truth of the original Fullmetal Alchemist ending. And I mean, Brotherhood, I mean, don't get me wrong, I prefer Brotherhood, but I feel if the original anime was taken in the route of Ed and Al are split up Ed and Al are split up forever, but their journeys are over, and you know that's the end of the series. That maybe would have made it preferred over Brotherhood, but Brotherhood just had a more satisfying feel, and one could even see Brotherhood's ending as maybe a bit bittersweet, because the brothers, they're kind of going their separate paths, but, you know, they're gonna meet up in the end. We all know that. Ed ends up with Winry, everyone's fine at the end, you know, I mean, there's that, so you can take that how you will, but I think either way, it's still really interesting to discuss these series and these open, ambiguous endings, like which version I do prefer. Not many anime have two totally different adaptations that take the series in their own different light. It's all a matter of you, the viewer. Which do you prefer? Do you prefer more melodramatic moments on a smaller scale, or do you prefer kind of a more consistent and concluding plot that Brotherhood was bound to be? I mean, obviously I prefer Brotherhood. I think that I've made that clear, just because it didn't kind of disappoint my expectations with the way I was going. Because, bro, when I finished the Conqueror of Shamballa movie, or when I was getting to the point where Ed leaves, I was like, that's pretty sad, but I'm okay with this. And then I see Alphonse, hello, you know, it's like, what? That really, Regardless, what are your guys' thoughts on the original Fullmetal Alchemist ending? What are your guys' thoughts on Brotherhood's ending? Which do you personally prefer? No matter what you feel, no matter which series you like more or you dislike more, I want to hear everyone's take in the comment section down below. I want to thank you all so much for watching this video. Ninja out. Peace everybody, and have a good day.